Hello everyone, I'm Ponce Ferguson and this is Cavals Present. After almost 2 months without uploading any videos, we are back with our comments and news from a different perspective. The truth is, it was very difficult to stay in the dark after all of this time, seeing all that took place in this past week and have not voiced our opinion. So here we are, let's get to it. Death is never a welcome guest, no matter how or when it comes. A few weeks ago, I had to travel to Costa Rica to bury my own brother. Initially, we were told he lost his life in what many considered a double car accident. But as authorities continued their investigations, different clues started to show up. So while death under any circumstance is unwelcome, sudden precipitated death is certainly the worst thing any family, relative, or friend can experience. Well, such is the case of Philando, Castile of Minnesota and Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In both cases, both men were killed by white police officers. In both cases, both men didn't give, according to video footage, any reason to be brutally murdered by legal uniformed terrorists. So, of course, the question that is in everybody's mind or on everybody's minds is when? When is it going to stop? When can black men, black people in general, breathe freely? When can we be at ease, not having to worry if I'm going to be next? The truth is, we don't know. Sad but true. We don't know if the minute we step out of our homes, we are going to be harassed. Well, I mean, stop at a traffic light or at a convenience store or wherever and end up in a pool of our own blood or surrounded by chalk. We just don't know if when we leave our homes we are going to make it back, because there are those rotten apples who are out to kill us. At least that's what it seems like. And on any given day, your number or my number may be up for legal execution. So now we have a situation where a frustrated young black brother decided enough is enough, took matters in his own hands and avenged, apparently, the lives of those black brothers murdered by police just a few days ago. As everyone knows by now, Micah Johnson killed $5 police officers just before a peaceful protest ended in this city's downtown area. Of course, there are those law enforcement officials who are labeling this act as a terrorist one, that he was probably deranged or mentally ill. They come up with all of these labels, refusing to see it as it is and call it out as it is. What happened in Dallas was nothing but a result of their own making, nothing but a result of the police shootings and killings of unarmed black men and women. Law enforcement officials have to recognize that if they don't stop their policemen from illegally killing black men and black women, there is going to be a revolt and things are going to get to a point of no return. If they don't turn this mess around, things will eventually get worse, and then it will be very difficult. It will be too late to resolve. As things unraveled in Texas, I was somewhat surprised by what Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings and his Chief of Police David Brown said during their press conference. They sent out an appeal to their community, calling for their support and empathy towards the fallen police officers' family and those injured. Take a listen.
And the injured. They are not having a good time trying to absorb this, trying to understand why. And they need your prayers. So please join us in helping us comfort the grieving officers' families.
All that is good, but please forgive me if I don't feel no empathy or too saddened for what happened to those police officers. I will not ask, though, for you to forgive me for feeling very saddened and afflicted to what happened to the Castile and Sterling families. Yes, as I said earlier, death at any level and under any circumstances is unwelcome. But while the killings of those police officers is not acceptable, though it may have come as a reaction to previous events, far more egregious is the number of young black men and women without any provocation or previous incidents. You see, I have to question, why are white men given an unprecedented amount of second chances while in a scuffle with law enforcement, whereas black men and black women are given none? That is beyond my comprehension and understanding. Why the double standards? How can we feel empathy for a group of people who constantly terrorize our black brothers? How can we feel empathy for a group of people who refuse to apply the law equally across the board? How can we empathize with law enforcement officers when they seemingly are out to pull the trigger and every black person they see? And so the second big question on everybody's mind is, what will it take to stop all these crazy murders at the hands of those who promise to serve and protect our communities? To the Castile and Sterling families, to those families who lost someone at the shooting finger of police officers across the country, and sadly to say, but true, to those families who will eventually lose a loved one at the murderous hands of law enforcement officers, our prayers are with you, and may God help us all. By the way, stay tuned as I will bring you some insights into what evidence is now pointing to and proving to be the murder of my brother, Guillermo Arnoldo Ferguson. That is it for now. As always, on behalf of everyone here at Caval's Present, be good, be great. Good night.